Hey everyone, it's Eric. I am back with my book haul for yesterday and the day before. I went to a couple of library sales, I went to some thrift stores, and I found some cool stuff. And so I'm just going to go through this because it's a lot, and I'm going to do this as quickly as I can. Sometimes I pick up weird westerns. This one I found at Salvation Army for like 20 cents. I figured, why not? Philip Jose Farmer. He's a neo-pulp writer from mainly the 60s, 70s, into the 80s. Found this one. Looked kind of interesting. Sure. Picked that up. All right. So I used to be a regular attendee of the Detroit roller derby. It was a lot of fun. I just stopped going because my brother, who I went with, was going to EMT training, and Saturdays became booked. It's been a while since we've been back, but I found this. And if you can see right there, the quote from Dave Rothbard of Found Magazine. It's one of my best friends from junior high and high school. So it's always cool to see when your friends do some cool stuff. Look forward to looking through this at some point. If you've never been to roller derby, it's, at least my experience, was affordable, family friendly, DIY, not a lot of pretension. It's a lot of women who in school were playing field hockey or ice skating or doing track or any of those kinds of things, and it gives them an opportunity to go out and do something that's part of a team that they put together themselves. I've always had a great time with the roller derby. So check out your roller derby, support them, and I look forward to looking through this book. Also, there's the movie Whip It, which was actually filmed locally with our local roller derby girls. So if you want to know what it's all about, that movie, put aside all the romance stuff, which is kind of okay, but all the roller derby stuff is pretty spot on, and it's a movie well worth checking out, and any of the stuff about the roller girls, definitely worth checking out. All right, and then, same day I found this. I used to be a huge Clive Cussler fan. I listened to some of the books in this series on audiobook on trips, and I've enjoyed them, so I found this for 25 cents or something, and I figured, why not? So then, that was Salvation Army stuff. Yesterday I went to our local Kiwanis sale, and I found, they have books, records, VHS tapes, that's usually what I look at, but I found some books. I found a nice hardcover of Joe Gore's Dead Skip, which I've got in paperback, but this was, I think, 50 cents, and looks like it's in pretty good condition, so I was like, yes, I would like to have that in my collection. I found paperback of The World of Mystery Fiction, and I've started buying some of these anthologies because they have works by people that I don't have in my collection otherwise. So this has got Dickens, Poe, Conan Doyle. It's got Dorothy Sayers, who I've never read, and I probably should. It's got Hammett, Woolrich, MacDonald, and Chandler, who I have read. And then some Agatha Christie. I've been looking for Agatha Christie stuff. We'll get to that in a minute. So I picked this up. I need to set aside a month to just read from anthologies. This was kind of my shot in the dark as far as I had no clue what this was, but it looked kind of cool, so I grabbed it. And same with this. Love that cover. It's got a very early 80s, late 70s kind of feel, and published by that Ballantine. So I picked that up. I like the back cover with the people's faces. All right. And then in my quest to pick up Brian Garfield books, I picked up this one, which I'd never heard of. He is the author, most famously, of Death Wish. All right. And then, this was maybe the score of the day. One of my friends alerted me to this writer a while ago. He's looking for books by him. This is the guy that wrote Beetlejuice, but he also wrote horror novels, and that's Michael McDowell. And I found a copy of this book, beginning of July. It was pretty beat up, and I actually picked it up for my friend. So I've got a copy for myself now. It's in pretty good condition. All right, so then we went to a library sale from the Kiwanis. As I mentioned, I've been wanting to read some Agatha Christie because I never have, and I always see her stuff at library sales or Kiwanis. They didn't have any this time. And there's the Agathon going on Twitter in September, so I wanted to get in on that. And so I picked up a couple of Agatha Christie's just randomly. I tried to pick up ones with interesting titles or short page counts. I like that cover a lot. I'm looking forward to checking some of these out. I do have a nice copy of Murder on the Orient Express, which I may or may not try to read. This is the one I'm most looking forward to reading. So, and I always like finding stuff that's a film tie-in. I don't think I've seen that movie. So I found those. I found a couple other things at the same sale. I got a George V. Higgins, he of the Friends of Eddie Coyle. I got a Ruby Jensen because I saw her horror novels all the time back in the day, and I don't think I ever tried to read one. And that's just kind of a cool, creepy cover. This one I picked up because this looks like the covers from the James Ellroy novels that I first started, that has the issue when I first started reading Ellroy. And so I figured, why not? I'll give that a shot. Looks like a crime novel. And then finally, I don't have a lot of Poe in my collection. This was a great, almost unread copy of Poe's mystery stories, so why not? So then, let's see, where did I go from there? Okay, I went to another library sale. Found this. Once again, this has got short stories by people that I've been wanting to check out that I haven't. People like Hugh Pentecost. Let's see. Richard Matheson, whose stuff I've read. Ruth Rendell, Ellery Queen, Edgar Wallace. Edgar Wallace was the big selling point. Lawrence Block. There's a Joe Gore's DKA files in here that I don't think I've had, so that was also a big sell for me. Patricia Highsmith, some other people I've never heard of. So once again, I need to make some time to read some of these short stories. All right. This looked interesting. This looked like a kind of crime detective novel spoof. Max Allan Collins CSI novel. I've got a couple of these now. I need to make sure that I'm not double buying some of these, but I like Max Allan Collins stuff, so I figured I'd check that out at some point. I've never read any Joe Hill, but they had 2 of the paperbacks, so I figured why not. Nope, and I'm dropping books on the floor, but that's okay. I got this very nice unread copy of Angel Eyes by Lauren Esselman. That was cool. And then off the free cart, because I have a decent free cart, I got The Chocolate War, which I've heard of, but never read. Kind of want to at this point, so I grabbed that. And a Kinky Friedman crime novel. I've got one of his other crime novels I've been meaning to get to, but saw it in the free cart, figured I would go ahead and grab that. So lastly, I went to one last Salvation Army. And I didn't see a lot there, but I did find Lauren Esselman Western that once again is completely unread. So I'll add that to the Lauren Esselman books I need to get to. I got this one, The Infinite Number of Monkeys. This sounded like kind of an interesting PI fiction. It's not too thick. And it says on here, winner of the Best First Private Eye Novel Contest 1986. So we'll see. And then finally, I've got copies of this, other copies of this, but a nice trade copy of Lonely Silver Rain. So I think this was 20 cents. So for 20 cents, I can add this to my John D. MacDonald trade collection. So there you go. That's the big haul. I don't intend to be doing too many more of these for the next month, but you never know what you're going to find. So maybe I'll be back in September with another haul video. Maybe not. We shall see. Catch you all later.